Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and notifications button for all the good stuff we've got coming.
So I started like a website where I sell my masks.
Oh, those are awesome, Myishia.
Yeah, so these are the masks I have to wear.
Where are you, Myishia? I can't see you.
I
can't see you under that. You're like looking.
I love it. What's the site?
It's called shieldthatface.com. Shieldthatface.com. Oh, so what brought me to the rap was I remember the Repertory Theater would have like a community outreach where they would teach acting classes, and I took some of the acting classes. I remember I had a class with Milfordine Luster, and she was amazing because she didn't play, and something that stood out to me about Detroit Rep was how they were all about community, how everybody worked together, and they were all very passionate. So I remember in a class when learning lines, she was like, "Don't paraphrase, and you say every word, every consonant, and you hit the period and the spaces." And I'm like, okay. So my first show at Detroit Repertory was Valley Song, and actually it was me and Robert Williams, in this talk back. It was me and him in the show, and it ran for. That was a good experience because I was a student at Oakland University at the same time, and I was going to school in the daytime, taking classes, and then coming to rehearsals and going, like, having that professional experience at the same time, going to school, getting a theater degree, and performing. We had 5 shows a week. We had like the rehearsal, going through the rehearsal process, 5 shows a week, and then two shows on Saturday and 2 shows on Sunday, and it's like, wow. And having that experience, and while going to school at the same time, was like, it was a good time because, like, yeah, I'm really like working it. Oh, another show we did there's another show. Me and Leah were in 2 shows together. We did one show was called Cheat with me, you, and David Regal and Jennifer Jones. And then there was another show. Oh, what was the name of it? It was a show where it was me, you, Ebony, and it wasn't. I want to say Council, but it wasn't Council. But it was a show where. Do you remember that show where the sister died, and it was like about remembering? But it was that show.
Of course, I do. Unspoken prayers.
Yes, unspoken prayers. Yes, that's what we did, that show together too. And that was a great experience too. So it's like, having done those 3 professional shows as an undergrad, but on the stage of a professional theater in Detroit, it was phenomenal for me to have the experience. And then I brought that out here in LA. And I've done theater here, which kind of like gave me the foundation to, like, all right, I can hang, in different markets. So yeah. Like, our energy of the whole cast of, like, we bonded as a family. It was like we family, just you, my mother, and then
even though I should have been your sister.
Well, you and my friend and the other one were fighting over that can of sardine. I remember that one night too. I don't know why I did that too, but you giggled when we did Cheat, and I had like a lunch bucket or something, and I had a can of was it like sardines or tuna, and I just did something silly where I like snatched it back, and you started chuckling. but with unspoken prayers, the reason, because it dealt with a subject of like the older sister was murdered, and it's like grief and sadness, and how a family continues on. And I also dealt with like punishment. Do you, like, somebody kills somebody, how would you move on? Like, if that person was, like, put in jail versus being put to death, does that help you with your grief? Does that help you with the family unit? What does it do? So it was just dealing with so much. And it's like, you focus more on the family and the caring and the loving, and going through the trauma of this happening, because it affects everybody. So my focus is like, like it was like, this is my family. We are in this traumatic experience, and we're dealing with grief. So, it was the human aspect and the relationship of it that was like my duty to fully tell the story about, because it's something that all families deal with: grief, tragedy, going through a traumatic experience. And then how do people want revenge, or do people want to say, okay, how do people move on? So that was just natural. Like, we're family, we're in this together. This is our story, and to share with this audience. So that was my. Oh, and then Valley Song, Robert, I remember you gave me this big book about acting. Like, Robert was always giving me books. You'd be like, read this. And then one time he gave me this big book. What was it? Was it The Art of Acting? It was like this. You gave me, it looked like a Bible. And I remember looking at you like, don't you know I go to school in the daytime? Like you giving me this big book, like as if I don't read enough books already. Like, when I'm gonna read this? Oh, but I was like, I remember Robert was always giving me books. He's like, now read this. Now look at this. Now you got to see this. I'm like, okay, all right, okay.
He still does that. He carries those books with him and gives them to every person he crosses paths with.
I took a class with Milfordine.
Milfordine.
I did take a class with Bruce, and then Broswell. Yes, I took a class with Broswell. Broswell was so cool and interesting to me. Like, we got to give a shout out to Harry Wetzel. That's my homie. He built the most incredible sets. Like, I felt like he was like a magician. Like, he can use that space on the stage and turn it into anything. Just magical. Just creating like these magical worlds and these magical atmospheres, especially Valley Song set. I love that set. It was just like, yes, this is our home. This is our space where we lived in. But going back to the workshops, yes, I took classes with Mr. Broswell, Milfordine, Miss Lusher. I think I took a class with Dee. Dee was really cool too. Barb too. Barb, I think I took a class with Barb as well. Well, I work a lot on the behind the scenes. Like, I've been doing a lot of stand-in work, and and extra work too. During the pandemic, it's like auditions are, now we have to be tech savvy with our auditions, where we have to do like self-tapes. So that's like a whole other, like, thing with pursuing a whole other thing to have in your tool belt out here as an LA actor, because you have to learn lighting, sound, and editing for your self-tapes to submit. And then but there's not much theater. I know I was a part of a theater group here in LA, Play Club West, shout out. We do stage readings. We were doing stage readings and via Zoom, which is cool, just to have like still community, still working to do stuff, even though all the theaters are closed. But as actors, you're like, okay, I gotta create, I gotta do stuff, I gotta keep working on my craft, no matter what's going on. So that was like an outlet that was doing out here. And with I was doing improv for a while, but since the whole pandemic, that's been difficult. I know some people are like, they're Zooming their shows or they're Zooming in, which is interesting. Like you're trying to improv with someone in a little square. That's, it's, you know, you're going to make a way. Oh my God. Detroit Rep is such a beautiful place. It's just, everyone's so supportive. And I felt like I walk away with so much knowledge, and the people are just beautiful, just awesome. And like the plays are, it's just wonderful storytelling when you see everyone working together on that stage. And of course, like Dory said, the audience is like no other audience. Like they will let you know that they don't want your character to make any bad choices, or they are with you. And so I loved it. I loved being there.